Good morning, brothers. When we talk about the experience of St. Paul at the cross, what do we mean? So we always think about his mystical experience, but he also had other experience, like everyone else. So he was born in a family, and that is part of his founding experience also. He was one of a big family, 15 children. He was the second child. So all the time he was growing up, there were babies in the house. But many of these children died. He had 6 sisters called Katerina. Why? Because 5 of them died. It was a family also with money difficulties. So his father moved from Castellazzo to Ovada, where Paul was born, to escape going to prison. Later, after the birth of Paul, his father did go to prison. He has to be thinking of his family, but also he feels God is calling him to do something. So there is this struggle going on in his years when he's growing up. So what was the family experience of Paul at the cross? It was an experience of loss, all those deaths, instability, impoverishment at times, uncertainty. But all of that lived in the context of a loving family. His mother taught him to read. She taught him about the Passion. Stramby tells us about the cross, his mother showing him the crucifix. She would read to him and his brother about the fathers of the desert. His father, who was not a very capable man, it seems, at the same time was a loving person. And even in the hermitage in Castellazzo, at night when Paul is hungry, his father comes with food to the hermitage to feed his son. He learned about death and about poverty. He learned about faith and human relationships. He learned about being engaged in what is happening, being involved in life, but also how to be able to step back. So he cares for his family, but he wants to pursue his own path where he thinks God is leading him. And there's a skill, an ability to be learned in that. Practical things. He learned about money. Money can create problems, too much, too little. This comes out later. And above all, he learns how to love in an unselfish way. What kind of person does he want to become? So he says, a man totally God-centered, totally apostolic, a man of prayer, detached from the world, from things and from himself, so that he may in all truth be called a disciple of Jesus Christ. That's describing him. What he is becoming through his experience. Now, St. Vincent Mary Stramby, who wrote the first life of St. Paul at the cross, he has a very nice little phrase. He says, the Holy Spirit raised up Paul at the cross to help people find God in their hearts. What is essential for him in the way of life is the path of his own experience. So God has led him in a particular direction through these inspirations, and that creates for him the direction, the shape to which he is trying to be faithful. So he has an experience of conversion. What does that mean? He got a sense of God in his life, And the sense he gets from this, the greatness of God, his own smallness before God, but the understanding that this great God loves him in a personal way. He says, God gave me a strong desire to found a congregation called the Poor of Jesus. So this is the name that he takes. It's a name we don't use anymore. For ourselves, in living the charism and in reading Paul's writings, what we see is when he speaks of the poor of Jesus, there are 3 levels of being the poor of Jesus, or becoming the poor of Jesus. So the first level is poverty in imitation of Jesus Christ. So the first level is a level of imitation. Second level, poverty flowing from meditation on the passion of Christ. So we have poverty as doing things, being the poor of Jesus. Then we have being the poor of Jesus as a form of prayer, meditation on the passion. Now the third level then, poverty as transformation in the likeness of Jesus Christ, as a way to mystical union with Christ. St. Paul of the Cross says later in the letters that in the highest degree of prayer, we never leave the passion behind. So when we go deeper into this, it's really about being united with Christ. And the little sentence from the diary, from the 7th of December, in the retreat in Castellazzo, he says to feel his sufferings and to be on the cross with him. So this then is the aim of his life as one of the poor of Jesus, to feel his sufferings and to be on the cross with him. So not to meditate on the passion simply, but to experience the passion from within. But we can keep this experience of the Spirit in Paul alive in our own cultures and in our own time, but only to the extent that we really get to know him. Becoming the poor of Jesus is the task of every passionist.